Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. Starting on the daily chart here, we are looking at our bull run cycle here for Bitcoin. We are in the wave 5 toward the upside after a wave 4 that it has probably bottomed here as a ABC, of course. Finishing this wave 4 here, and we're looking at triple 1-2s after it, 1-2-1-2, finishing a wave 3, 4 and a 5, and finishing a wave 3 in the orange scenario. Now, of course, we are looking at a correction here, probably finished, probably not. In case that this wave 4 has finished, therefore we are in our only bullish scenario, and this bullish scenario is a formation of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 1, then ABC for a wave 2, then 3, 4, 5, continuation toward the upside. Now, of course, to see a 1-2 formation here, we need to go to the 1-hour chart to check, of course, if this is unfolding or not. We're gonna see it in a few minutes later. Now, the other bearish scenario, to recap it very fast, we possibly are in an ending diagonal correction, meaning after the top here, you are in A, B, and a C, expanding flat. Your wave C might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending a diagonal. And that means, of course, you are currently in a wave 4, probably towards the upside, and it should be like a zigzag, and then moving toward the downside, of course, after reaching the nice fib for a wave 4. In that case, of course, you are still in a correction, and your wave 4 here in the orange still needs some time to finish. And then, of course, moving for higher prices again. Another bearish scenario, the wave zigzag in a wave C, meaning you have a top here actually for your wave 3, and that of course bring our scenario for a zigzag, which is of course can reach lower prices for a wave 4 and then start to move toward the upside. However, very low possibility, because if this is a zigzag here, you would like, of course, to see a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your wave 1 is very extended, meaning that, of course, your wave 3 should be short and your wave 5 should be shorted. It can be, or it can be, of course, an ending diagonal itself with an A, B, and a C again. Now, the last scenario, which is the ultimate scenario, is a formation of a 1, 2. Meaning you have here a 1, 2. Also, you have top for a wave 3 here, possibly. And then, of course, you have a formation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, with this scenario, you are closing your CME gap, which is, of course, at the 77K and the 80Ks. In this wave toward the downside, of course, you will have to close, of course, this CME gap, still knowing that without reaching the 66,500, this is your invalidation point. If this invalidation point was not reached, meaning, of course, we are still in the bull run, invalidation of a bull run, right? And in that case, of course, you can still have 3 waves up, 5 waves down, hopefully to not touch it. In case we touch it, therefore it's finished. So yeah, the problem is with this, if it went impulsive, it needs, of course, a wave C after it, and with 5 waves toward the downside, so possibility goes as well higher, of course, to close this bull run. But however, if in case your impulse was a little bit shorter, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and ABC, and then closing it like this, and then continuation without the invalidation, meaning, of course, we are still in the bull run. So it depends how much deep this wave moves toward the downside to close this CME gap, which it should be closed soon or later, guys, right? So these are the scenarios. Now, the possibilities of closing this gap, which is at 77,000. Now, let's say we move toward the upside to 130, right? How much the possibility will be big, of course, to close this CME gap later on? I think this will be massive, right, as a drop. Therefore, I think this gap has higher possibility to be closed soon before later, and then moving toward the upside. Let's see what's happened. Of course, let us not just stick into it, because sometimes it can be a trap. We don't want to get blinded with it. Sometimes, yes, the price move higher and then drop massively for it. Nobody knows. So yeah, these are the scenarios that we have now. Let's move to the 1 hour chart to see which one has highest possibility. Now, if we are bullish, guys, as we said, we need to start fresh for a bullish scenario here in this area, looking for a formation of 1-2. Now, what is the possibility of this to be 1-2? Now, of course, this looks like an impulse already as a wave 1. Your wave 2, in case definitely it cannot be finished yet because of the long range that we see here. However, also the time is too long right now for a wave 2. So if we take the time for this top here as a wave 2 here, you can see we have passed even the double time for this wave 2, which is a little bit reducing the possibility for a wave 2 here, right? And bring us here to a scenario possibly even just for a wave B, meaning turning this into an A, B as a 3 waves WXY, and then of course wave C toward the upside, probably finishing it kind of like a zigzag, and that bring us to the scenario of the bearish again, because we might have a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 in contracting diagonal. Or it can be as well, after a massive impulse, 3 waves up. Of course, you have 1, 2 formation again for an impulse toward the downside. So it still give, of course, higher possibility a little bit for the bearish scenario, even if we move a little bit higher. So in case, of course, we reach the 1.618, in case that this is your bottom here for a wave 2, and you're looking for higher and you reach the 1.618, which is around the 100K again, that of course might open the scenario again for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, continuation toward the upside. However, still of course need to be reconsidered, because we can still see of course some scenarios where you would like to hit only the 1-to-1 fib level for a zigzag. By all means, if we pass this fib level at 96,200 and we overshoot it, I would say yes, this might transform to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of course, continuation toward the upside. Therefore, your target or your key level between bullish and bearish is almost as this price action, 96,270. If we overshoot it, meaning we are bullish, of course, and we are looking for higher prices, 3, 4, and 5, and if we, of course, retrace from here, meaning, of course, we are bearish, continuation toward the downside, which it has higher possibility because the trend is already toward the downside, as you can see, and we want to see anyway continuation in several scenarios. So basically, the bearish still, of course, playing role here and of course, have some domination over Bitcoin chart. So even if we see a little bit higher prices, it might still be bearish scenario. Now, if we take a look, of course, on the BTC for on KGT, we can see, of course, that the price action for the weekend is ranging still. However, we don't see, of course, any kind of bullish or bearish signals on the CVD lines. But of course, if we go a little bit higher here, the possibility to get a bearish scenario can be, of course, even stronger. So if we get here the weaker signals, we can see that here we have a convergence, we move down, and then again we don't have any kind of divergence because this is higher than this signal. Meaning, of course, there is no really good divergence here between the bullish signals, and that makes the bullish, of course, weaker. If we take the accumulation here, we can see, of course, accumulation is kind of balanced, but still, of course, the sellers has a little bit more domination here. As we can see, 3 bars of sellers. Here we have 3 bars of buyers, but there was, of course, no signal for the bullish. We were already in the bearish, and of course it was previously given was 4 bars or 5, 6 bars even for sellers. So it was a very strong sell signal. So these buyers were invalidated directly, and of course you would like to see the buyers coming after this signal, of course, with 3 or 4 bars to say, of course, we're moving toward the upside. Now this of course is the scenario where you would like to see anyway a little bit higher prices for a bearish continuation toward the downside. This is the highest possibility. Targets are 90k first, of course, and the second target is, of course, the 87 and breaking the 87, meaning, of course, CME gap to be filled and yeah, to reaching almost 77,000 in an impulse toward the downside. That was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments.